What if you could give a restaurant owner the power to reach their best customers just by pulling their phone out of their pocket and sending out a text message? Hi, my name is Dr. Ben Atkins, and I am excited that you have somehow found your way to this page because today I'm going to tell you about a system that I put together with a couple of my friends that has changed the game for a lot of restaurant owners out there, especially during this pandemic and lockdown and all the crazy things that have come our way in the last little bit. So a little about me. I am an owner of an agency. I started out as a chiropractor years ago. I got into digital marketing to build up my practice. And along the way, people saw that I was doing stuff that worked really, really well. And so what did they do? They started hiring me. And so I started working with restaurants, lawyers, all kinds of different businesses. And along the way, I learned some pretty cool stuff. Now, about 1.5 to 2 years ago, I was playing around and stumbled onto a very cool way that we were able to do something special. And that was to build an SMS list, just pretty much without coding anything together, but build an SMS list and then enable an owner of a business to pull out their phone, send out a text message, and then everybody that had subscribed to that list, that text would go out to every single one of them. Now, the most miraculous thing about this to me was pretty simple. It's that we were able to put this system together for each business that we did it for in about 5 to 10 minutes. Now, the really cool thing about this is every single month that we ran this with businesses, their list got bigger and bigger and their marketing ability got bigger and bigger. Plus, they never stopped paying us to do this for them. Now, what I want to teach you about today is where this all came from. Like I said, about 1.5 ago to 2 years, we started doing this. And so we had a group of businesses, and there were restaurants specifically, that had this powerful marketing tool in their hands. And it was going great. And then all of a sudden, something very interesting happened. And it's been really crazy for a lot of businesses out there. And it's been very scary for a lot of businesses out there. Maybe it's even been sort of scary for you. And that was the lockdown. That was the pandemic. And when that happened, let's just be honest, everything was sort of thrown into flux. There were a lot of businesses that weren't even allowed to open their doors. Restaurants specifically, they couldn't have either full people inside of the restaurant or they had to shut down almost completely, minus delivery, curbside, things like that. And so we started seeing a pattern. And we started seeing lots of restaurants that were struggling very hard. And the reason that those restaurants were struggling very hard was because normally they had relied on their location. They'd relied on traditional media to help them get customers through the door. And that just wasn't happening anymore. But we noticed something very interesting about our clients. Our clients weren't having any trouble at all. Because what happened is this: when everything started to change, and it changed just like that, our clients had something different than these other businesses. And what they had, our restaurants had, that those other restaurants didn't have, was they had the ability to pull out their phone and send out one text message, and they reached this list that they'd been building for months. And so when all this started to happen, of course, we started to jump into action to help other restaurants that didn't have this yet. And something very interesting happened. The restaurants that started building a list, even the ones that weren't completely open and were just doing curbside delivery and actual delivery, all of a sudden they started to be able to communicate with their best customers too, just through the power of a text message. And so we started to continue to push this out and help more people. Now, the obvious thing hit me very early on. This was something that we could do that would help small business, restaurants specifically, who were going through a tough time. But it hit me really quickly that we would not be able to help every restaurant out there. And so what I started doing is I started documenting how we put this system together, from how we built the SMS broadcast system for each of the businesses down to step-by-steps of how you put it together. How, as an agency, we would pick out the kinds of restaurants that this was a system, an SMS system that could actually help because of the way that they were already operating even through the pandemic. After that, how did we get in front of these people in the first place? How did we contact these people without having to walk into their business? Remember, a lot of these places were closed. So how could we contact them to let them know that we had something that they should look at? And so we figured out a way to do it through Facebook Messenger and email. And it worked really, really great. We started booking meetings with all these restaurants to show them what we were doing. But after that, we still couldn't go into a lot of these places because of social distancing and things like that. So how do we sell them? Well, we developed a system, a 6-step system to actually walk them through what we were doing with the SMS broadcast system that we can build on the fly for them. We started coming up with a system to sell them, and we dialed that in and got that working too. After that, it was just a matter of onboarding these businesses and making sure that they knew exactly what to do in the first few months of having this system at their disposal to actually get people to sign up for it so that they could send out messages anytime that they felt like they were slow and wanted to boost their business. So what started happening was something very, very powerful with all of the businesses that we had on beforehand, all those restaurants, but also the restaurants that came on after the lockdown started. Month after month, they started growing their messaging broadcast list that was all text message based. They started growing it steadily, little by little. And what happened is every time that they were able to send out a text message because they had a promotion or they had a special item for sale or they had to change their hours, anything they wanted to let those customers know about, they had more and more customers each time because every single day with the way we were showing them how to do this, they had new people subscribing that were ready to hear from them because people still have to eat. So what I want to do is this. I want to impart this wisdom to you because right now as marketers, we have a mission, and I believe this at my core. It is our job to save small businesses so that we can help save the world. We can't be in hospitals right now. We can't be working the front lines in a lot of other places. But what we can do is we have a unique set of skills that allow us to help businesses reach their customers faster. And inside of this special program that you're going to learn about on this page called Pizza Money, I'm going to teach you how we built a very special SMS broadcasting system that allowed all of these restaurants that we've been taking on to now reach their customers month after month, how to build these lists. Remember, this is stuff we've been doing as marketers for years, building lists, but now we're putting it in the power of that into the hands of restaurants, how they could use these lists to thrive during the pandemic, but also set themselves up for big things after that. So what you're going to learn on this page, if you keep reading below, is you're going to see how this system came about. I'm going to be walking you through how you can build your own SMS system without having to worry about any coding or hiring coders or anything like that, how you can build it from scratch in under 20 minutes, and then how you can build this for each restaurant, get them going, and let's be a little selfish, you and I here. If we're doing these things to help people, we also have to make money too. I'm going to show you how we've been charging $200 to $500 a month to set up this system and maintain it for them, even though they're doing most of the work to grow the list and to send out the promotions. We act as the people that maintain the software that you're building. And it's not really software that we're building. We're just building a system that they can use. It's actually pretty clever, and I want to teach it to you. So what do you do next? So all you got to do to get inside of this training, I put together a documentary style training that walks through each of these steps. Below you can see the 5-part training that we've put together that's going to walk you through how to build the software, how to find the best clients for this in the restaurant industry, how to get their attention without ever having to leave home, how to pull off an amazing sales meeting that shows them the power of what this is so they'll sign up with you for $200 to $500 a month. And then most importantly, how to onboard them so that in the first 2 to 3 months, they're building a powerful list that they can send out promotions to so that $200 to $500 a month that they're paying you for this, it ends up being nothing compared to the money that they're making by sending out these text broadcasts to advertise their promotions, to advertise what they've got going on. So all that said to say this, I want to invite you inside of the Pizza Money program. As I said, it's a documentary and a training of how I've done this, how I've built this in my own agency, how we've been helping lots of restaurants do some amazing things through the pandemic, how we were doing it before, how we've been doing it through the pandemic, and how this is going to help those restaurants after. And I'd like to invite you inside. So here's what you do now. Below this video, there is a set of information that you can read to get a little more educated on all of this. And then also there's a buy button. Click that buy button, get inside, and I think you're going to find that this is one of the easiest trainings to go through to implement. And by the way, if you have any questions as you're going through this training, I'm going to be on the other side to help you out with that too. My final word here on this video, because this is something that's special. This is not your typical page you go through and you're buying a program. The reason I want you to be here right now and the reason I want you to get inside is simply this. There are tons of restaurants out there that if we don't do something to help them, they won't be around in a few months. And this is something that you can do. Each and every one of you watching this can do that can help them. And whether you're doing this to help your favorite restaurant, your favorite restaurants, or you're doing this to grow a business that's going to bring you in $5,000, $10,000 a month or more, whatever your motivation is, I'm fine with that, because the idea is right now, it is our duty to go out there and help these businesses. And this is a system that I absolutely know that you can help these businesses with. And you'll get paid a nice wage every single month to do it. And the most beautiful part is this. The more they build that list up, the more they are thinking, I'm never getting away from this, because sending out that text message, pulling out my phone, sending out that text message is extremely powerful. So jump inside of Pizza Money by clicking the button below. I am extremely excited to welcome you inside. And thanks for watching this very unorthodox video, reading this very unorthodox page of what's inside. And I'm excited for you to get inside, see something a little bit different that you can do that's going to make a huge impact for restaurants. And it can be a business that you can scale in a big way as you grow. All right, so Dr. Ben Atkins here. Thanks for watching this video. You can read everything below to learn more. I'm excited to see you on the inside. I'm excited to show you Pizza Money and the Pizza Money system. And I'm excited to get you out there to help restaurants that are in sore need of your help right now in order to survive, but to thrive past this. All right, I'll see you on the inside.